On May 25 in 2020, that's around 3 years, 3 years ago, an unfortunate incident happened in the United States of America. The incident caused the death of a black man by the name of George Floyd. It involved George Floyd, the black man, and a white police officer whose name is called Mr. Derek Chauvin. So Mr. Chauvin was recorded pinning down George Floyd on his throat, thereby causing oxygen not flow into his body, and that caused Mr. Floyd's death. So in the 21st century, many people believe, and many people between black and white, they believe that that unfortunate incident and untimely death of George Floyd is really old-fashioned and really out of place, especially in this generation. So in this video, I'm going to discuss issues that I believe are the responsibilities of a white person in this fight against racism. My name is Ignatius. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Welcome to those that are new. A couple of years back, actually more than a century of years back, centuries ago, it was considered that a white man's life was more superior than that of a black man. But in the 21st century, humanity is adjusted. They have come to know that no, life is life, be it black or white man's life. So the responsibilities that I just want to bring forth, they are responsibilities that come, that should be implemented by somebody when they are born white in this fight against racism. In other words, I'm going to argue in this video that being born white is not just an incident, it is actually a huge responsibility. When you're born white, you have a huge responsibility on this planet. The first responsibility of a white person is to teach their children about race. Teach your children about race. You see, this American author that I really love once said that white people are trapped in a history that they do not understand. And until they understand that history, they will not be released from that prison. This world that we are living in, there are benefits or privileges that come with having a lighter skin tone. By the way, if you haven't seen one of my videos that I did on the advantages of a white person, I'm going to put the link down in the comment section so that you can visit that video as well. Anyway, so a white person, as they are born, they just realize when they grow up that, oh, so these are the advantages, these are the benefits that only come to us because we are white. And when they progress into adulthood, those things will still be in their head. And when they are confronted with a situation whereby they're supposed to practice equality, they are not able to because they were not educated as they grew up. So the first point that I just want to bring to your attention is, if you are a white person, take it upon yourself, if you're an adult, to educate your child about race. Of course, you need to consider the age of the child. Are they mature enough to understand the information that you be giving to them? But it is not an issue that should be ignored. A white child should be educated about the mystery behind the two races, black and white, so that they do not grow up just knowing that there are people that are known as people of color and people that are known as people. There are two groups of people in this world. They are people and people of color. Those two terms, they are human invention. We invented them. So our children need to understand that whiteness in itself is a biological false theory. Whiteness is not biologically true, because a human being is a human being, either black or white. Children should understand that whiteness, in essence, was invented centuries back by some Christian farmers who wanted to ease their conscience as they were capturing black people and make them work in their farms. And mind you, as this information is arrayed, it should be arrayed to people that are mature, because the information is not about inflicting guilt, it is about knowledge and truth, giving children the correct information, getting people to be knowledgeable about the reality between the two races and the need for equality between the two races. Number two is acquaint yourself with people of color, or acquaint yourself with black people. You see, fear is often the root of all bigotry in this world. And one of the antidotes of fear is knowledge and familiarity. There is this fear and this stereotype over people of color or over black people, especially in the United States of America, in Europe, and across the globe. Black people are considered as people that are less organized than white people, for example. And in America in particular, they are known for drug trafficking and dealing in drugs, etc., and all those unruly behavior. And hence, that causes fear of a black person and mistrust over somebody that is black or somebody that is a person of color. So in order for one to do away with that fear, which leads to bigotry, you need to be familiar with that particular person or the kind of person that they are, being African or being Asian, being Chinese, being Indian, or being a person of color. When you bring them closer to you, you talk to them, you befriend them, you realize that they are as ordinary human beings as everyone else. Actually, they are as normal as everyone else. There are very good things about India. There are very good things about Africa, very beautiful things that you can get in the southern part of America and the southern part of Africa. Very beautiful people, people that are honest-hearted, people that are straightforward, people that you can actually do dealings with and become very, very satisfied at the end of that particular deal. But in order for you to understand that those people are actually there, and actually there are many people like that, you need to be familiar with somebody that is black. And by black person or a person of color, I am referring to somebody who is not born in Europe or in America, but somebody who is born in their native land. If you get an opportunity to become familiar with that person, of them, befriend them, and find out how they do their things. Number three is challenge your own stereotypical beliefs. You see, change of behavior begins with a change of mind, because the mind is like the headquarters of the body. So if your mindset is changed, your behavior will automatically change. So on point number three, what I'm basically saying is that challenge your stereotypes, the way you perceive a black person to be. Becomes stereotype when you believe that every person of color has got that negative aspect of that of their personality. It's like believing that every white person is racist. That's another stereotype. So I'm saying, as a responsibility, challenge your own stereotype and begin to treat a person individually. When you deal with a person, whether white or black, deal with that person individually. Talk to them individually. Address them individually. When you speak to them, remove it from your mind. Remove the color from your mind. Another thing that causes those stereotypes is the issue of language. The language, the native language that most people of color speak is not necessarily English. If they're speaking their native language, they could be speaking Hindi, for example. So if somebody is Hindi by origin, they speak Hindi and they don't speak English or French, definitely when they are going to speak to you, when they're going to talk to you in English, they are going to use some words. They are going to think in their native language, interpret, then they speak out. So as they do so, sometimes they're going to use a wrong word in a sentence. And it is easy for you to confirm your stereotype that you had in your mind that this person is rude, and you consider the use of that word as rudeness. So as you listen to a person of color speak and you consider their accent and you realize that this accent is a typical accent of somebody that was not born in Europe or America, or where that particular language is ideally spoken, it is somebody who is speaking from a point of learning the language, then you're going to have to put yourself to task. Instead of judging the words that would have come out of their mouth, you're supposed to think in yourself and analyze and interpret what they're saying, that this person is actually trying to say this, and what they've said is because they failed to find a better way of saying it, and perhaps help them grow in their command of, for example, the English language. So that would help to remove that particular stereotype, and that would help to improve your behavior towards somebody of color when you're white. 4, speak up publicly about it. Let it out. Let it out. Bring it out from your heart, from your mind. Let it come into your mouth and speak it. Speak it. It's a phenomenon that exists, something that is existing around the world. So speak it. Don't hide it below the carpet, especially when you are white. It is your responsibility. I've never been white myself. I'm black. There are responsibilities that a black person is to take note. I've done a video on that. If you are interested, subscribe to my channel. You come across that video, the responsibilities of a black person. As a white person, speak up about the issue of racism. You see, I've come across articles that speak against racism, written by white women, white men, and I've laughed to read those articles. I've come across videos done by white people that are, you see, speaking up against racism. So if every white person, every household, if they are going to be speaking up against racism on a nuclear level, they speak up against racism on a extended family level, friends level, with your pals at work. As we speak about it, it becomes part of our life. We are what we hear. We are what we speak. The words that we speak, they will begin to mean something in our lives. Speak against the issue of treating another race as inferior. In summary, I'm saying your race or your gender does not change your humanity. So as we identify with the same needs, we have responsibilities of correcting the wrongs that were done in the past, so that we live in unison, we live in peace as humanity in this world. So if you have liked the thoughts that I've just aired out, or if you have many thoughts that you think I've skipped, let's meet in the comment box. Put your comment there. Remember to subscribe and remember to like the video if you like it. Let's meet in the future videos that I'm going to post.